All right, what is up, YouTube? How's it going? It's Forever King here, back at you with another video. So today I'm going to be doing my Geras guide completed. About 6 months ago, I made a really big Geras guide, and it's actually my biggest MK1 video on my channel. You know, my most amount of views and everything, and you guys loved it so much. To this day, I still get compliments on that guide, or people, coming in my Twitch chat and like, oh, I learned so much because of that guide. And so this video is going to be the part two, the continuation of that guide. So everything that I forgot to include in that first initial guide, and also just, 6 months later, I learned a lot ever since then. This guide is going to contain all the things I forgot, plus all the things that I've learned since then. So thank you guys for all the love and support, and hope you guys enjoy. So first things first, I need to go over Geras rewind time. I didn't go over this in my initial guide, I just completely forgot to. And to be honest, at that time, I wasn't really using this move that much. But this is so integral to Geras' game plan. A lot of people call it the one bar breaker. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you guys right now. So when you press down back 3, Geras summons this hourglass. 70 frames startup, 70 frames recovery, so they have like 2 whole seconds to punish you. But if you can happen to get 3 hourglasses and then you press down back 3, Geras does this Thanos snap. Teleports behind the opponent, freezes them in time, you get a free combo. Pretty nice. So if you meter burn the hourglass, that gives you all 3 hourglasses all at once, so you don't have to charge them manually one by one. So the Thanos snap is just down back 3. If you meter burn down back 3, that's what gives Geras the rewind time. And this will also use all 3 of your hourglasses, so you need to get all 3 of them all over again to do this rewind time again. So this rewind time, you notice there's a hitbox around Geras. If that hitbox touches the opponent, it will freeze them in time, and it'll allow you to teleport safely, because normally they can punish this. So now I'm going to show you guys what happens when you mess up the rewind time. If you do it at the improper time, Johnny Cage can just wait for you to land and get a full combo punish of his choice. And don't mind my bad Johnny Cage combo, I'm not a Johnny Cage player, but you get the idea. You don't want to use this move at the improper time. So you want to make sure that your opponent is close enough to you while he's comboing you, so the hitbox can make contact and it can freeze them in time safely. If your opponent's not close enough to you, they're not going to get frozen, so they can just freely punish you. But as long as they're close enough to you, Geras will freeze them in time, and Geras will move back wherever he was like 1 second ago. That's where Geras is going to be. So yeah, a lot of people just assume that you control where you go. You don't control where you go when you do this rewind time. Geras goes wherever he was like 1 second ago. So let's say, for example, I do the Motaro teleport. Look, he's going to go all the way back over there because that's where he was 1 second ago. Or if I move like a lot, wherever he was like 1 second ago, that's where he's going to go. So one super important detail to remember about Geras' rewind time, this hitbox that Geras creates when he does the move, it's not instantaneous. We don't know the exact startup of it. I don't think the game tells you, but I know that if the opponent is attacking really fast back to back without too much delays in their combo, they're going to smack you right out of this move before the startup even happens. And if they hit you out of this rewind time before the startup activates, you waste a bar of meter, you waste all 3 of your hourglasses, you got to summon all 3 of your hourglasses all over again, and you continue to be comboed all at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys an example of Johnny Cage doing a corner combo where he's doing like some really fast punches, and see how he just hit me out of that? So when he hit me out of that like that, I wasted a bar of meter, wasted all 3 hourglasses, and continued to get comboed anyways. A lot of Geras make this mistake. So this is why Geras is one of the most complex characters in the game. You have to master, not master, but you kind of have to have knowledge of every single character's combo routes and know like, all right, there's a gap in this combo big enough for me to rewind time out of it. Or, this gap is, or this combo's airtight. There's no gaps, so I'm not going to be able to rewind time. So not only does your opponent have to be close to you, but also there needs to be some time, some gap in between their punches for you to even be able to start the rewind time. So moving on from rewind time finally, let's talk about this meter burn sand pillar. So you guys already know about the regular sand pillar. The meter burn sand pillar, it detonates after a couple seconds when you use it. What I forgot to mention in my last guide, when you do this meter burn sand pillar, it actually gives you an hourglass. So see how I did 2 meter burn sand pillars? That's 2 hourglasses. Now it's 3, Now it's Thanos Snap. So yeah, when you do this meter burn hourglass, that gives you one. I don't really use it that much to be honest because it takes so long to detonate and it doesn't detonate automatically like someone walking into it. And it only gives you one hourglass when you could just meter burn this and get all three right away. But I thought that'd be worth noting. So let's go ahead and talk about another one of the most complex moves in the game. Geras' meter burn back forward 3. So this creates a sand clone of Geras that whatever buttons you press while this clock is spinning, the sand clone will end up pressing those buttons. And you can make that sand clone do whatever you want for the most part. You can't make them jump, you can't make them do special moves, and you can't call cameos while this is out. So there are certain rules to keep it from being too OP. But you can make it do normals and you can make it walk forward. So the main thing that you're going to be wanting to do with this is try to set up hard to blockable setups because that 2-1, so Geras has 2-1, the string, that second hit is an overhead. Geras also has 4-4-4. The first two hits are low. It's low, low, mid. So if you can try to time this 2-1, make the clone do 2-1, and then make the real Geras do 4-4-4, you can make hard to blockable setups where it's one frame apart of an overhead and low really fast. And the clone actually lasts long enough to where it could do like 2 mix-ups. So for example, I like to start off with back 1 just because a lot of people assume you're going to do the full string back 1 2. So if you do back 1 into meter burn back 4 3, if I don't mess it up. Yeah, so you can make the clone do 2-1, 4-4-4, or make the clone do 4-4, 2-1. You can even make the clone do 4-3. You know, that's an overhead as well. And you could be doing that with the sweep. You know, you can make the clone do the sweep as well. You know what I mean? That's a low. So you can make the clone do the sweep and make Geras do the overhead or vice versa. The regular version of this move, this is just this. Geras becomes a clone himself. If he gets hit, he teleports back to where he started. Or if 2 or 3 seconds goes by, he teleports back to where he started. It's okay, but the main interest here is this meter burn version. Because this meter burn version, it gives you hard to blockable setups and free pressure, which is just insane. So another cool way to set this up, this string right here, you see how it pulls them in towards you? When you freeze someone with a Geras, whatever the last thing you do is, they're going to have the hit reaction of that last thing. So what you're going to want to do is end a time stop with this so that it pulls them in and then you get the 50-50 setup. I'll show you guys. So now they're standing up into a hard to blockable 50-50. You know what I mean? Pretty neat. So also with Geras' meter burn back 4-3, you can combo off of command grab using Geras' sand clone, which is crazy. Most characters would need like a cameo or something to combo off command grab, but Geras can just do it on his own with the clone. So let me go ahead and show you guys. So that comboed. So that was 37% 1 bar mid-screen. That Johnny Cage was blocking. He got opened up by a command grab that cannot be teched and got hit with 37%. So now I'm going to get into some of Geras' optimal combos. I gave you guys a lot of optimal combos last video, but obviously times change and people learn and get better as months go by. That last Geras guide was 6 months ago, so I'm going to show you guys some of the new optimal combos. So let's say you just hit someone with 1-2, right? I want to say this is 39. Yeah, almost 39. So that was the optimal for a long time, for a few months. There's an easier way to do it. I mean, not an easier way to do it. There's an easier route that it's less damage, but it's way easier. So this is like 36 instead of 38. But that 36, I'll never drop it. That 38, I drop it kind of like half the time. So it just depends, like, do you want that a little bit harder combo that's a little bit more percent, but you're, you know, comfortable in your execution, you're confident that you could hit it every time? It's up to you. So if you hit the Thanos snap, you can also do these combos. Back 1-2 tornado, it works off of Thanos snap. It works off of 1-2 time stop. It works off of 2-1 time stop. Yeah, so the only one that doesn't work for some reason is forward 1-2. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's inconsistent. So you see how it worked that time. See how that time he like bounced backwards. So I'm assuming it's the way that their body is positioned like this, how he's hunched over. It makes it inconsistent for like sometimes they'll bounce forward with the right reaction, sometimes they'll bounce backward with the wrong hit reaction. So you actually want to do a different combo. If you hit forward 1-2 into time stop, you do this instead. That works every single time, 10 out of 10 times. For some reason, when you do forward 1-2 into time stop, if you do this string into the tornado, he'll always bounce towards you every single time. Also, if you don't want the side switch, you can try to go for this combo instead. It's a little bit harder. I would say it's a decent amount harder, actually. See, that 4-2 is so tight right there. It's possible, but it's just hard. That makes it way easier to stand 1 into it, and that's actually more damage. That just got 39% mid-screen. Something to think about. Also, something I've been doing more recently, if I hit the Thanos snap, I'll immediately just go into forward 4-4 into meter and hourglass. So I have Thanos snap loaded again. So obviously, this isn't like max damage, but I'm loading all 3 of my hourglasses and getting 30% and continuing the combo. You know, it also works if you just go like this. Pretty much any time stop you do, you could hit 4-4 into meter and hourglass and then do your shit. Pretty handy. If you don't want to spend the bar, let's say you hit like a Thanos snap or a time stop, whatever, you could do 4-4 into regular hourglass. And then ending the combo with this. This also builds an hourglass. And then hopefully you're fighting a character that can't punish this hourglass summon from full screen. And now you just loaded 3 hourglasses without spending a bar. So all these combos I just showed you guys, these are all my personal optimal combos that I've been using the past few months. And as far as we knew, those were optimal. But Demoralize just posted on Twitter yesterday a new optimal. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys. It's kind of tricky. So you're going to stand 4, back 1-2, and you have to time a back 1-2 to make it cross up. And that was over 40%. No cameo required, just big boy Geras all by himself. 40% 1 bar mid-screen. Pretty crazy. So as far as we know, it works off of every time stop. Like, you know how the forward 1-2 usually has like a weird hitbox, or like it puts the opponent in a weird position where combos don't normally work. This combo still works even off of forward 1-2. Even works off of Thanos snap as well. Pretty nice. So it doesn't matter if it's Thanos snap, doesn't matter if it's stand 1-2, doesn't matter if it's forward 1-2. You can always do this new Demoralize BNB. And this is the new optimal as far as we know. Until something else. So last but not least, I saved the best for last, the Geras Sacred combo. You guys have probably seen me do this in tournament a few times and on streams a few times. Normally, if you do this in ranked, the opponent will just rage quit and forfeit out the match. So basically what you need to have all 3 of your hourglasses ready to go. This 1-2 string, can't forget about that. And Geras' forward 1, this chest bump. So Geras' 1-2, that gut punch, it puts your opponent in the exact proper hit stun that you want. So what you're going to do is, boom. Now, look how he's standing. He's prime for the taking. He's yours. You know what I mean? So get your hourglasses. Boom, 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 3 times. You're so massively frame advantage when you do this. Your opponent can't jump out, can't backdash out, can't armor out, nothing. He has to respect your plus. So I set the AI up so that he could do the setup against me. So I want to show you guys how crazy devastating this setup is and how there's no escaping it. So I'm going to try to hold up back, right? I'm holding up back. I couldn't not jump out. That's what happens when you don't respect Geras after the Sacred combo. I'm going to try to backdash. Alright, I'm mashing backdash. Can't backdash. So now I'm going to try to set myself to armor. Let's see. Let's see if I can armor out of this. All right, I'm armoring. Nope. This setup is so plus. You can't armor out, can't backdash out, can't jump out. Nada. Once Geras hits you with those 3 back shots, his follow-up is guaranteed. Like, you have to respect him. So once you establish the respect after the back shots, like your opponent knows, every time I hit you with some back shots, you gotta respect me. This is what you can start doing next. When they start respecting you a little too much, you could just start tossing their salad. You know what I mean? They're blocking, thinking they have to respect you, and now you do a command grab, unblockable. So this final technique I'm going to pass down to you guys, it's not for the faint of heart. I would only do this if I was like way ahead or I really wanted to disrespect my opponent. I feel like it works best when your opponent's at low health and it's for the kill. It's kind of anticlimactic when it's not for the kill, but when it's for the kill, it's like the best way you can win a match. It costs a lot of resources though. So what you need all 3 hourglasses. You need 2 extra bars of meter too, so you can do Geras' double time for the sand clone. And you start the same way as the last combo I just showed you. So 1, 2, mash forward 1, jump over, make Geras high 5 as sand clone, and you're gonna make Johnny Cage respect you from the front and the back simultaneously. Some people call it the sandwich, some people call it the Eiffel Tower, some people call it the spit roast. It goes by many names, but the only one thing that's true is it always results in a quitality when you do this in ranked. So yeah. So yeah, guys, that is my Geras guide complete. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I kept saying like months ago I was going to get around to it, but stuff kept coming up. I kept traveling so much. And, it's honestly good that I waited for Geras to evolve more so I could show off all of his stuff. And in my opinion, he's the most complex character in the game. So I'm sure in months and months from now, we're going to learn even more stuff. And maybe I'll even have to put out a part 3. But without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for all the love and support. And I hope you guys all have an awesome night.